This hand is definitely close. Oh. I really don't know what to do. Think I will exploit. What's up, guys? HOLYJTIBURON here. Today we're back with a Play and Explain series. In today's video, I will play some hands at 50 NL zoom. I will play 2 tables and I will share my thought process in real time. So without further ado, let's jump right into the session. I'm gonna open the King 8 here against the recreational. Likely a recreational. It's not playing full stack. My first guess is that he is a recreational. Queen 6, definitely a good board for the preflop raiser. I'm just gonna go with a range bet here. Facing a raise, definitely folding this King 8. No backdoor. I'm gonna open the King suited. Facing a small 3-bet from a recreational. I wanna 4-bet this hand all the time. I'm gonna go with a slightly bigger sizing. I think it's pretty weak once he goes with the small sizing. Now on the Queen 7-6, I will go for a small bet. Definitely try to extract the max value out of this top pair with a good kicker. See a pretty fast call from the in position player. I don't think he's got a strong hand ever once he plays that fast. I think I wanna value bet my hand again. I will go for an half pot bet. It will have a Queen Jack, pocket 8s, pocket 9s, maybe some ace X of clubs, stuff like that. Just wanna bet again. Snap calls. On the river, it's kind of close since the 10 is paired. I think if I check, I don't have enough bluffs from the guy, but he can easily call a weaker hand. So I will just go for a value bet here. Let's see what he does. Ace Jack, check the flop, check the turn, trying to take the showdown, face a small bet. Definitely gonna fold here with the ace high. And he called with the 7-5 offsuit. Wow, that's pretty huge call from a recreational. Yeah, that's why you go for value bet in these kind of spots. Don't be afraid of the trips. Facing an open from a regular, this hand can 3-bet and can call, roll a pretty high number. So I'm gonna take the passive line and just call. See a flop, King Jack 8. Small blind can play some overbets, but definitely can play a range bet too. I think he's going for a range bet. 8-7, definitely gonna continue here with a pair. Turn is the 6 clubs, and we face it. 2x spot, bit too much here. Definitely gonna fold the 8-7. I'm gonna continue with most of my King X there. Flush draws, stuff like that. Gonna open the 9-8 suited. Pretty good start of the session. Okay, we play a single raise spot. King Jack 3, definitely gonna go for a range bet here. Even at equilibrium, it's a range bet, this kind of board. Do it pretty well on the Broadway region. Gonna open the King 4 suited. We see a call, and the turn is the King diamonds. Now, this guy is pretty passive, so I think I want to give up my hand. It's gonna have a stronger range. Don't want to bluff this guy a lot. I'm just gonna give up and then fold. If you see a tight regular, you should assume they overfolded on one node, so then the bluff becomes less profitable since they're gonna have a tighter and stronger range. Now we see small 3-bet from likely a recreational. I don't see a lot of regulars playing a small strategy of 3-bets, so I would assume this guy's a recreational, and recreational players tend to bet their hand. So if this guy goes for a small size, I will just assume he's got a weak range overall. I think this hand doesn't want to 4-bet a lot, so I will just call. See an a7-4, check with our whole range. Okay, this guy is on the other table with less than 100 big blinds, so I will assume this guy's a recreational. And we see a half pot bet. Definitely gonna continue with ace-9. I don't think I want to ever raise this hand, so let's just call. See a 10 on the turn. Here, King 9-4, ace-10, can small bet some time. I will just check back this time and check the turn here. Face a bet 4 big blinds. Definitely not gonna continue here. See a check. Once he checks on the turn, I don't think he's got a lot of hands that beat us. So I wanna definitely go for a value bet here. Now we'll go for something intermediate. Let's just go off pot. Calls with the same end. As you can see, he went for a small 3-bet with the ace-9 offsuit. He would have probably sized up if he had a hand that was better than ace-9. 10-10-4, just gonna go for a range bet against a small blind. Likely a recreational player. See a fold. Nice. Now we have pocket aces, and we see a 3x open from a recreational. Here I can mix in some sizes. since the guy is a recreational, I will go with a standard 4x with pocket aces. If I had pocket kings or pocket queens, could have gone bigger. 8-7-3 rainbow. Now, definitely want to bet this hand against the recreational, and I will go for a small bet. Try and keep his range pretty wide. If it was against the regular, I would have probably sized up or check with this hand. Now on the turn, I think I will check this hand. I kept this range pretty wide, so now I will see a lot of stub in bluff. Once I see a check line, I think this guy mostly has a pair, like something like 8x, 7x, maybe some jack 10, stuff like that. So I will try to extract some value, and I will go for a b70 on the river. It folds, that's fine. See a 3x open, this guy is likely a recreational. I'll go for a standard 4x. Here I'm gonna 3-bet the ace 10 suited against the recreational. We see an ace 9-9. Here I like to play a very small size, 25% bet. On ace high boards, recreational players tend to go crazy with the bluff raises in position. This time he calls, and on the run out 3, I think I can go for another straight to value, or I can check. This guy's got a lot of weak pairs, maybe some lower ace x. I will go for an off-pot bet on the turn. Once he did not check raise, I will always go for a second straight to value here. And once we see the jam, it's pretty annoying. I don't think I can fold ever against a recreational player here. Here I will take my showdown. He can have pocket jacks, pocket queens sometimes, some sets, slow blade. Took my value on the turn, then I'm gonna check back and win a showdown. Here I'm gonna call. We see him with the ace 4, huge blunder from my opponent. Again, he's a recreational. And the other one, the guy showed up with a 9-8 offsuit. That's why I went for the value bet on the turn. Oh, since I know this guy is gonna flat call a lot, I'm never gonna 3-bet bluff against him. Just play a linear range with my strongest hands in the 3-bet line. We see a pretty big bet on king 9-3. Usually you want to play smaller sizes on this kind of boards. And the queen 6, it's very close. I think I will fold against this opponent. You can maybe play some calls in theory, but I don't like it. Here, limp from recreational. I like to play a lot of ISO raises and big ones since they're gonna be pretty weak once they limp, and we can win without going to see flop. Here I'm gonna open the king queen offsuit, and we see an ace jack 5 two-tone. Here you can play some over bets or some small bets. Usually solvers tend to go a little bit on the polar side of the strategy. I like to play small bet anyway. We face a call, run out the jack. Now I'm definitely not gonna bluff this kind of king eye hand. I have enough showdown to go to the river. Goes check check. Of course I'm not gonna win a lot of times, but still beat some of his hands. So just check and try to win the showdown. Shows up with the top pair. Fine, we lose this one. Playing against recreational is gonna be very important at low stakes, more important than play against regulars. You have to maximize against recreationals to have a decent win rate at these stakes. You cannot know how to play against recreationals. See a 3.5x open, definitely gonna fold. 3x open from this guy that called the 3-bet with 9-8 offsuit. So I'm never gonna 3-bet the 7-6 suited, of course, against this guy. I have basically no fold equity, and I don't want to play for big pots if I don't have a pretty good hand against this guy. So definitely gonna fold. These are some small adjustments that you can make in your game. Pay attention to what hands are the recreational players playing and try to play with a stronger range. Sometimes you wanna even play more hands against them because they make too many mistakes. Not against this kind of players. If a player tends to overcall, you wanna have a stronger range, of course. 2.3 open from the under the gun. I don't know if this guy is a regular. We see a flat call from this guy. Definitely gonna call and try to hit a deuce on the flop. See a 5-5-3. I don't know if there's any leads potentially in this kind of boards. Could develop some leading strategy, but I will deviate towards value here. So pocket deuce is just gonna check. Here we see a pretty interesting hand. An open, a call, and a squeeze. I think I will 4-bet my hand. Let's just go for a small size. Here, just gonna check again. Now, once the 7 is on the river, I will not bluff here. That's a pretty sick spot. The question I want to ask myself is, does it ever jams pocket jacks, pocket tens? I think it does not. So if he's got kings, aces, and ace king, this hand is definitely close. Wow. I really don't know what to do. I think I will exploit fold. It's really close, man. It's really close. But I don't mind. I don't mind make this fold. Man, it's really close, that situation. But I want to read into the player. The player is very tight, so I don't think I can ever go to showdown with a 80-20 in favor. So I don't mind folding. I think I have a post-flop edge in every spot. I don't need the 0.05 of EV of the spot if it's ever positive. I don't think it's that positive, by the way. Because if he fast plays all the time aces, that will suck. I'll call kings plus there, and it's fine. Maybe ace king suited works a little better since it blocks aces and kings. Just a quick break, guys. If you're enjoying the content so far, like and subscribe to the channel. I'm a small creator, so it will really help me out. Now back to the video. Here I'm gonna 3-bet the ace queen offsuit. Let's go 7 big blinds. Here I'm gonna small bet against the recreational player. Gonna play some checks too, of course. Jack 4-3 is not the greatest board for the preflop raiser. Here I'm gonna open pocket tens. Queen 8 is kind of close. Okay, we face a call and we see a queen 7-3. Definitely a range bet spot. Completely fine to range bet. I like to play this strategy. Maybe in a solver you can see some checks, but I don't mind. I'm gonna open the 10-9 suited from the under the gun. Okay, we see a 10 call from our opponent. Run out is the 8. Now, I don't think he will play a lot of check raises on the turn. So this will make my value bet thinner, of course. And I will go for a intermediate size, even though here you can easily play some overbets too. I will go for an intermediate size. Against 3-bet, gonna play 4-bet or fold in this kind of formations, and this hand definitely not gonna 4-bet, so let's just fold. You can simplify the game 3 UTG against the button 3-bet and just play 4-bet or folds. It's already a spot where GTO doesn't do a lot of calling. So when the rake is pretty high, you can simplify and just 4-bet or fold. And open the 10-7 suited. See an open and a pretty big 3-bet. Definitely not gonna call 4-bet this hand. Just gonna fold. Wanna go with something stronger there. King 7 offsuit. If everybody folds, I will open, even though it's kind of close. I would like to play a little bit wider than GTO. Here against 2.2, pretty deep stack. We can play some flat calls too. Rolled a low number. Let's just go for a 3-bet. This guy, I think, might be irregular. 2.2 is already a pretty reggish size to open. We see a king 10-6. Course, since we're in deepness, it's a bit different, but I think I will play a range bet strategy on king eye boards, especially at these stakes. You can make a case to play a polar strategy too. In deepness, on a two-tone board, you can easily play a small size. It's not a big deal. See a pretty long tank and then a call. This hand, I don't think I should ever bluff, especially when the board pairs. I think I will have a lot of equity hands to bluff with, so I will just check and not try to read too much into the tank call. I will have some queen 9, queen jack, ace jack, ace queen to bluff with. We're gonna have some flush draws. We did indeed bet our all range. We have a pretty wide range to defend. Against the bet, of course, an easy fold. Ace jack, mixed strategy against the cutoff open. I think I will 3-bet this time. Let's just go for 11 big blinds. You can go even bigger, something like 12 big blinds. It's gonna work completely fine. If you play a bigger 3-bet sizing, you make the imposition player fold more pocket pairs and suited connectors, so you maximize the fold equity pre-flop. Then you have to be more cautious on post-flop since it's gonna have a stronger range. Ace 5. Gonna fold the stakes with this rake. King 7 suited. I think I'm gonna play very low frequency 3-bet with this kind of hand. If ever, just gonna play a call here. We hit a flush draw. I'm gonna mostly raise with this king eye flush draws, especially with the 7 of diamonds. Block a lot of his continuing range, and I will go for, it's kind of in between a medium size and a big size. I like to go for a pot size raise. Here I'm gonna be pretty polar. I will mostly check raise to pair plus and like pocket 6s, pocket 9s, ace 9, maybe 9-6. Gonna raise first in the king queen offsuit. Here jack 9, pure 3-bet, 100 big blinds deep. Can mix some calls too here since we're a bit deeper. I will simplify just to playing a 3-bet or fold strategy, if not 200 big blinds deep. Now queen jack 6 rainbow. I will start with a small bet since there's the recreational player in the hand. I want to play against him. It's a call and another call. Now I think this guy's a bit capped. If he had a hand like pocket sixes or queen jack, he wouldn't mostly raise on the flop, I think. So against their range, I think I'm ahead most of the times and I want to try and extract some value. I will go for a b75 here. See a pretty quick fold from the guy and a call from the recreational. I think we have a mandatory shove here. You can still call with some worse hands like queen 10, king jack, stuff like that. For an off pot bet, it's definitely worth it. Go for it. He folds. Against 2x open, definitely gonna play calls with the 8-5. Don't play 3-bet with this kind of hands. Maybe low frequency 7-5, maybe low frequency 8-6. 8-5 definitely not in there. It's gonna play call. 7-6-6. Not the greatest board for the out of position player. I'm gonna have a bunch of trips here. Once it goes check, I have two main strategies, I think. I can go for some block or intermediate sizing, and I can go for huge size, basically wrapping a trips. And I will go for this huge sizing. I will go for 3x pot. I don't think it will be able to defend a lot. I think it's going to be very capped once he checks back. He needs to find a lot of frequency of checking back with the overpairs. It's not going to be easy. A6, deep stacked against the recreational player. I like to play in position when deep stacked against recreationals. Now we'll go for 10 big blinds, 3-bet. And we face a jam, so easy fold, of course. Ace-5 can be an open. I think this guy's a recreational. I'll open this hand. It's a mixed strategy in theory. I'm gonna open the queen jack, of course. Facing a 3-bet. Fold. Managed to steal the blinds. Nice. Here's 2x open from the under the gun player. I think I will play mostly 3-bets. I want to play a call strategy since he played a 2.1 open. I think I will call this hand in deepness. Let's see. Got the ace jack 3 two-tone. Against the bet, I think I will mostly call. I don't have a lot of hands that wants to check raise in this kind of situation. Some ace jack, some pocket threes, not that much. We hit a pair on the turn. I think this hand might even work as a semi bluff in a check raising line rather than in a bet line. I will check. Probably check raise against the bet. Depends on the bet too, of course. Tank check. I think now we don't have that much showdown, but I don't think we can bluff this hand. Maybe check raise bluff can work. Here I'm gonna play a range bet. On the ace on the turn, I think I will bet again my hand. I'll go for a pot size bet, basically folding him out. Under pairs, pocket 10, 10x, stuff like that. And against the block bet, I was gonna say this guy is a very aggressive player, doesn't like to fold a lot. So even though the hand might work as a bluff, I will not take it. I will not call, of course, with the 9x. I'm gonna defend some, maybe some second pair. I don't like to call here, and I don't like to raise against this kind of player. Always pay attention to what kind of style player you're playing against has, because if he's ego player or he doesn't like to fold, it's not the profile you want to bluff. Here I'm gonna play a range bet. Against 3-bet, definitely fold queen 8. Already not the greatest pre-flop raise for stain. Should maybe go for queen 9 offsuit plus, but I like to open a little bit wider with these stakes. I like to think that I have a post-flop edge. Gonna raise the queen 10 offsuit, playing deep stack. This guy might be a regular, I don't know. See a call, is queen 10. Gonna play mostly small bets here. Could play some intermediate size bet. Don't like to overbet this kind of board since the big blind is gonna have some nutted hands and some two pairs. So I don't like to play such a polarized strategy. Maybe you can go for some intermediate sizing, but definitely not overbetting a lot. He's gonna have king jack offsuit at a high frequency, so a lot of straights, a lot of two pairs too, ace 10 offsuit, stuff like that. So you don't want to polarize and go like 150 on the flop. A pretty quick open from the under the gun player. 5-3 should be an open, if I'm not mistaken. Bottom range open, facing a 3-bet, definitely fold. Here gonna play mostly calls, I guess. Here gonna roll low. Let's just go for a call. See a queen 9-6, decent board for the preflop raiser. Gonna see a lot of range bets, I guess this takes. See a check back. King jack is definitely a hand that I think wants to bluff on the turn. Gonna have some jack 10s, gonna have some 10-7. So we can overbet, I think, potentially. And I think this hand wants to mostly overbet, I would say. Basically going 2-pair plus. I don't, maybe ace queen, I don't know. Here 10-10 deuce, we face a check. Not gonna play a lot of bets here. Let's just check back, roll the high number. We got this one. Run out is the queen of spades. Of course, we're gonna bluff some spades on the turn. I don't think we want to go small, mostly intermediate. Let's just go for B70. Basically wrapping a queen, facing a check raise. I think this hand already crying. I don't think he has enough bluffs there. I think it's likely that it's low played. We're already behind some of his bluffs. Like if we call and a spade comes to the river and we face an overbet, are we really happy to call? I don't think we should call this hand. Here I'm gonna play a range bet against recreational. Calls, run out is an overcard. Gives us a flush draw. I think I will always bet. He's gonna fold pocket 6s, pocket 7s, pocket 8s without the spade. He's gonna fold some 5-4, some stuff like that, ace 3 offsuit, stuff like that. So I'm just gonna continue. Here I'm gonna play a range bet on king queen 5. A pretty good board for the preflop raiser. Facing a call. Now I have the option to bluff with a huge size, wrapping a flush. I think I have some showdowns sometimes, so I will check back. Yeah, the flush. Here, ace king. With the ace of clubs, we do block some of his calls, so I think I will check back. Like for example, if we had ace king of hearts, he could have continued with the ace high flush draws. Once we have the ace of clubs, we block some of his continues. Once the river is a king, I think we have to polarize, and I will go for bet 150. It's not fold, but I don't think you want to bet a small size there. You're basically wrapping a full house or nothing. King 8, open the ace king offsuit. Gonna range bet the ace 8-3, pretty good board for the preflop raiser. I like to play range bet strategies, even though on ace high boards you usually don't see a lot of range bets. We see a small size of raise. This is a 50% raise. Here I'm gonna play again a small bet for range, and king 8's already close. I think we have to continue since we have the 8 of diamonds. We do block hands like ace 8 suited, though it should have the offsuit too, so it's not that relevant. It's already close on flop. Against 50 I can continue. Against the polar I will mostly fold the king 8, and once we see another big bet, should mostly bluff 5 deuce kind of hands. I think it's under bluffed overall, so I will fold. And here bet call, check on the turn, face a bet, just fold. I like to open a little bit wider than GTO at these stakes. Big blinds probably under 3 betting, so we're gonna see the flop more often than we should. We see a 10-6-3. Here you can play intermediate sizing most of the times, and I think the queen 8 can bet some of the times. I will check back this time. Roll the high number. On the jack turn, I think we can go for a big bet. I like to go for between B70 and an overbet. It's kind of close. I rolled pretty low. Let's just go for a 125 overbet. We see a pretty fast fold. Here I open pocket 10s and we face a 3-bet. These positions are heavily under 3-bet. So this hand already in theory should be a fold in some frequency, so I will just be fold. I don't care. I don't think my opponents are exploiting me by over 3-betting. If I notice some pattern and I see that player is starting to over 3-bet me, then I will readjust. Here I'm gonna ISO raise pretty big size. King 6 should be some frequency at 3-bet. Let's just take it. And flop top set against the recreational, I will go for a pretty small size. Here I want to bet my over range, even though I have a hand that basically blocks a lot of his value. Now once I go for a small bet and the turn is a 10, I'm asking myself if he bluffs a lot on this kind of card. And my initial thought is no, so I want to bet again. And I'll go for a small size. I want to do some raise, stuff like that. Once I see a raise, I know he's going to have some ace queen, but it's really unlikely. He's going to have some queen 9. Not a lot of combos overall. So I will just ship it in and try to cooler his 2 pairs and maybe get a call from pair plus open-ender. So he did have the queen 9, but unfortunately for him, we showed up with the full house on the river, board pairs. So, nice one. I think it's fine to just go for the small bet and then jam. You're always calling on the river, of course, so I'd rather go for the jam right away. They can make some crazy calls like queen 10, stuff like that. Here on the river, after check on the turn, I'm gonna always bet the top pair. Don't expect a lot of aggression here from the small blind. So if he's got a bluff catcher, he's gonna maybe call, but I don't see a lot of bluff raises. This will incentivize my betting frequency. Of course, this hand is just a pure bet, even against a player that finds check raise bluffs, eventually calls. Let's see what he had. Had ace high. Wow. Everyone seems to overcall. Let's just go for a small size here for our whole range. King, jack, jack. We do perform particularly well on this kind of boards. And let's end the session with this hand. Now, on this board, we do perform particularly well. We do have to find some unintuitive bluffs, and I think this hand falls into this category. Gonna make him fold even some king x on the turn. I think I like to bluff my low pockets there. Let's end the session here. Let's see the results for today. We did play 244 hands, managed to win 123 euros, so a little more than 2 stacks. And the all-in EV is just around 1 stack. So pretty good session overall. And let's end the session here. So guys, that was it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did and want to see more of this, I will link other play and explain sessions over here. And I guess I'll see you in the next one.